نار نار سنفجرها برصاصنا نمحوها العار مهلا يا أعداء الله سندمركم يا فجار نار نار سنفجرها برصاصنا نمحوها العار مهلا يا أعداء الله سندمركم.
It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength with which his body is capable.
مهلا يا فجار بدمي سأدافع عن ديني وسأهزم كل الأصنام وسأسقط رايات الطغيان وأرفع نور الإسلام وسنهزم كل الأصنام وسنرفع نور الإسلام وسنهزم كل الأصنام وسنرفع نور الإسلام نار نار سنفجرها برصاصنا نمحوها العار مهلا يا أعداء الله سندمركم يا فجار نار نار سنفجرها برصاصنا نمحوها.
My young brother, I am talking to you right now. This video is for you because right now you are in the prime of your life.
Come on, Mahdi! Get on with it!
You're not even in the prime of your life yet. You are an unripe fruit. The best years, your best years from a physical strength perspective are ahead of you.
Yeah. Easy work, man.
In fact, your best years from many different perspectives are ahead of you, but I am talking specifically today. This video is specifically with regards to your physical strength. It is a shame, bro, for you to reach old age without witnessing, experiencing, feeling the strength and beauty with which your body is capable. Privilege is invisible to those who have it. This doesn't just apply to women. This applies to everyone. Everyone who has a privilege of some sort is not privy to that privilege, is not cognizant, aware, conscious of that privilege because it's their norm. How could you appreciate something that is normal to you? But if you right now, if you, Habibi, right now, you have your health, you're not suffering from any major sicknesses. I have a friend I was speaking to online, an Instagram friend. He said to me he's been suffering with crippling side effects of having gone through the whole COVID thing. He had really bad COVID. And to this day, 2 years later, he is still suffering with extremely bad, to the point where he's been bedridden. And he said to me, I can't wait to get back into the gym. I can't wait to start training again. He was responding to one of my stories and I was like, subhanAllah. What a privilege to be able to get up in the morning and to train, to skip, to fight, to push weights. What a privilege. And you right now, you're watching this. You're healthy. You're free from ailments and disease and injury for the most part. And yet you are not taking advantage of this. Let me tell you something. I'm at a very interesting stage in my life right now. And I use the word interesting for a reason. I've trained my whole life. I've never been an elite athlete. I've never been a professional athlete, but I've competed to a respectable level, let's say, in a number of different disciplines, a number of different sports, from rugby to swimming to karate to strongman and powerlifting. And now the new chapter of my sporting endeavors is Muay Thai. And I never realized it in that moment, but the way I was able to train with the intensity and the frequency and the duration, a lot of that was largely attributed to the fact that I was so young. But how could I know or realize this privilege? How could I know that this was an actual privilege that I was experiencing? I couldn't until I started getting older. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not a video of how I'm so old now and, the good old days and when I was younger. No, this is not that. 32 years old, I am right at the peak of my physical prime now. this is it. But I can tell you, having climbed that mountain, and now I am at the peak age of physical ability. For most sports, it's in and around this age, 32, 33. Even in football now, the athletes are starting to peak slightly later. Most sports, there are of course exceptions to this. Swimming, for example, they tend to peak in their teens and 20s. Same with gymnastics as well. It's a young person sport. But for the most part, your peak is in and around this age. And I can tell you, sitting at the top of this mountain, now I am at my physical peak. Do you know what I see? Shall I tell you what I see? All I see is the decline. That's it. I look around and I'm thinking to myself, wow, so this is it. I need to appreciate this moment. I'm watching the sunset. I need to appreciate that sunset. I need to appreciate this moment. And I'm so glad, I am so happy, I am so relieved that I did push myself really hard in a number of different disciplines in my teens and 20s. I'm really glad that I did, because I got to experience and taste a lot of different things. I got to experience what it's like to be an outside centre in rugby, and the ability to run very fast and be strong and powerful there. I got the ability to compete to a reasonable level in strongman. I became very heavy and very strong. I got to experience and taste that firsthand. I got my black belt in karate when I was really young, and that I have to thank my father for, because that was completely his doing. He was the one who pushed me. I hated that sport. Completely hated it. That wasn't me, that was my father. But I am glad, I appreciate, I am thankful that I was able to experience it. Because you know, when it's all said and done, it's just about experiences. Wallahi, it's just about experiences. What were you able to experience? What experience did you permit yourself or allow yourself, enable yourself to experience that you had the ability to do so? Do you know where regret comes in? Do you know when you start to regret things? You start to regret things when you know you didn't do what you should have. Just as when you're procrastinating and you're delaying and you know you shouldn't be watching that Netflix program. You know you shouldn't be playing COD or whatever games you guys are playing. You know you shouldn't be doing it at that moment, but you do it anyway. That's when the pain of regret starts to kick in. It's a bloody dog barking in the background, bro. That's when the pain of regret kicks in. When you know you didn't take advantage of that time you had to do what you know you should have. You know, a lot of times I get questions on DMs, and a lot of you guys who DM me, I do apologize. I leave you on red. I don't even respond. You know why? Because a lot of your questions, either they're very badly formulated, or they're so long you're not respecting my time, or I already know that you know the answer and you just need to figure it out yourself. And if you really insist on wanting me to answer, pay me for my time. I get 30 to 50 DMs a day. You can't expect me to respond to all of them. Have some respect for my time. But most of you, when you're asking a question, most of you know the answer to most of your questions already. Unless there is a fundamental piece of knowledge or information that you need, something like you just don't know the answer, most of you, most of the time, know what to do. You know what you should do. But for some reason, you're not doing it. And this is one habit that I have cultivated myself, is the moment that I know I should do something, whether it's an idea that I believe I must act upon, or some type of action that I need to take, I take action immediately, straight away. I don't delay. I get up, even if I'm sleeping. I get up and I do it straight away. I don't pause, because the moment you pause to think, that's the moment that each second that passes after that is another second whereby you are 1 second less likely to do that thing that you know you should have, whatever it is. Don't think. Now, I'm not saying to be recklessly spontaneous and to do dumb things. That's not what I'm saying. But generally speaking, most of you know what you should be doing. You know what you should be doing. Do it. Act upon it straight away. And with regards to your age right now, because you, my bro, right now, you're young. The problem with being young is that you don't realize that you're young, because young is all you have ever been. Young is all you have ever been. And from one of the quirks of human nature is that in order to appreciate something, we need to see a contrast. We need a contrast. How do I know this is cheap until I see something that's expensive? How do I know that's a good deal until I see a bad deal? How do I know it's daytime until I see nighttime? How can I appreciate health until I am sick? How can you appreciate youth until you become old? Very hard. And the problem with that last one there is that once you become old or older, you can't go back in time. There's no rewinding the hands of time. You can buy something that's expensive. You can get ripped off on a bad deal. And you can rectify that by making sure next time you get yourself a good deal and you don't get ripped off. Now you have the contrast. You're able to compare and contrast. Not so with youth. Once you get older and you really appreciate now, because you're getting older, your injuries are starting to pile up. I'm 32 years old, turning 33 soon. I'm in the prime of my life physically. Already the injuries are starting to pile up. My recovery is slower. It's not the same. I don't have that Wolverine-like healing abilities that I had when I was in my teens especially. I don't have that. And I appreciate that all the more now because I don't have it. The irony. And that's never coming back. So I want to tell you right now, bro, because you're in the prime of your life. You don't know it. You can't appreciate it. It's impossible. But take it from your older brother. I am telling you as someone who is slightly ahead of you, and not even by that much, but slightly ahead of you, whereby the injuries have started piling up a little bit. My ability to recover has diminished slightly, and I don't heal as quick as you. I can tell you, you're in the prime of your life. My best muscle building years, gaining muscle, were in my teens and 20s, early 20s. Rapid. Not the same now. Don't get me wrong, I'm not past it, and I don't want to make out like I'm feeling sorry for myself, woe is me. No, I'm still in my prime. I'm still in my prime. But where you are right now, it's an amazing place to be. You know why? Because your best years are ahead of you.